All right. I think we're live. Weemy. We are live, buddy. You want to face the camera? Like, okay. Yeah, man. So, my dog obviously needs a bath, right? But before I wash him, I'm gonna have to do some. There's some steps to follow. There's a process. Just like you wouldn't just throw a bunch of ingredients in a pan, throw it in the oven, and expect it to come out, a nice loaf of bread. Just doesn't work that way. There's a process to it, just like there's a process to getting a dog nice and clean. So the reason why most people, when they wash their dog ends up smelling again in a few days. The reason that happens is because certain steps weren't followed. And if I just put him in the tub and started shampooing him, rinsed him off, even if I had a high power dryer and I just blasted the air and got him dry, within a few days he would start to smell again, really bad. Not that he doesn't right now. He does smell really bad now, but it's been a few months since I washed him. So a couple months, right? It's been at least 2 months since I washed him. And so,
and
it's
plus,
not too bad.
We wanted to make a video anyway, so we kind of...
Yeah, I did this on purpose. He was intentionally
well,
neglected.
Last time we were going to make a video, remember your mom, like the day before we were going to cut him?
Oh yeah, my mom took scissors to him. Oh, I was so upset when my mom took scissors. And I was like, we were going to make a video about his haircut, right? And she was like, oh, I didn't know that. I was like,
she's like, he's so
and I was like,
dirty,
I do this for a living, right? Like, why did you have to take scissors to my dog? Anyways. OMG, you do house call now. Yeah, clean puppies from Washington, D.C. Yeah, I was telling you, I do house calls. I don't stream it because, a lot of my clients, they're not really comfortable with it. So I don't really stream my live grooms. I have a few on YouTube. But since I do a lot of it on YouTube, I just figured this time I got the day off unexpectedly. One of my clients canceled. So, rather than get a dog, because we have people on a waiting list, but rather if we put somebody on the waiting list on today, then I won't be able to reschedule their next following appointment because we don't have the room next month. So that's why, oh, thank you, honey. So that's why, even though I have an unexpected day off, I'm not going to call somebody on the waiting list and groom their dog. So I figured next best thing, I need to groom my dog, right? People in glass houses. Anyways, so I'm going to groom my dog. So before I wash him, I'm going to comb out a lot of the dead hair and debris that's stuck inside his skin and coat. And that's the equivalent of us taking our dirty clothes and underwear off before we take a shower, so that the shampoo and the water can actually clean our skin. It won't be able to do a good job if we still have our dirty clothes on. So with Weemy, I'm gonna take his dirty clothes off, remove them before I give him a bath, so that the shampoo can actually do a good job. Oh, and the shampoo, guess what? I got some samples from Esprit. And I got this at Pedigree at their parking lot sale, so thank you so much at Pedigree. But I'm gonna be using the Dead Sea Mineral Mud Bath. I've been really excited. I kind of was excited to use this, the mud bath. So I'm gonna do the Dead Sea Mineral mud bath. But before I use that, I learned this trick from Jessica Love. She's in Arizona. Oh, she on me. Okay. So Jessica was a groomer that I worked with in Arizona. And she actually, was like, I think she was a human cosmetologist before she became a dog groomer. But anyways, she told me that before you use the mud bath, you want to use a clarifying cleansing shampoo first to open everything up. Then you'll get the best results from the mud bath. So I'm going to use 2 packs here, but 1 pack of this. So I'm going to wash my dog with this first to kind of clean the hair fibers, open them up with the shampoo. Then I'm going to seal everything and protect it and treat it with the mud bath. So I'm going to do... Right, because I showed in the earlier stream the shampoo conditioner I'm using right now, made by Show Season, called Naturals. But I've been kind of itching to use this mud bath, so I'm gonna use this on my dog today. But before I put this on to get the best results, I'm gonna use this first to open everything up, clean it, create a good environment for this to work. So wait. When did you start Housecall, June? We talked about it in Atlanta, remember? At the Atlanta Pet Fair. I do Housecalls. I've been doing Housecalls for about 2 years now, ever since we moved back to Atlanta from Arizona. So yeah, I mean, I'm a Housecall groomer. Anyways, so because he's a long-haired dog, let me put this down so you can see Mimi. Because he's a long-haired dog, I'm going to spray him with, saturate his coat first. So I really like this spray, Charlie Dog. It's made by Bobby Panther. It guards against outdoor elements with citronella, cedarwood, clove, and lavender oil. Spray into leave-in outdoor solution. Well, that's great. I may have some info for you. Awesome. Remember you taught me how to make a recirculator, you know, by getting the 5-gallon tub and, you know, anyways. For me, I just felt like, I don't want to carry that extra thing into the house. But anyways, okay. So Bobby Panther. One thing I want to say about this, though, it is a little sticky because it's oils. It's made out of deionized water, chamomile extract, rosemary extract, cedar oil. So a lot of oils are in this. So when I feel it, it's kind of sticky. So Trish, I've been doing Housecall for 3 months and a salon groom for 18 years, and Housecall feels like my calling. Trish, yeah, me too. I really love Housecall grooming because you don't have all that stress of the rent you got to pay, the overhead, the other dogs waiting, you know, like, you know, just all of that stress is gone, you know, and then you can actually just spend time and actually create a good relationship with the dogs that you're grooming. I love Housecalls. So anyways, I'm gonna spray this kind of liberally, you know. I don't want to be stingy with it. There we go. And the reason for this is I want the live hairs to be strong enough to where I don't break too many of them. So he keeps most of his live hairs. There we go. But the dead hairs are going to comb out, whether they're conditioned or not. Clean puppy, exactly. I love it too. So, all right. So now that his coat is kind of wet, right, saturated with this conditioner, I'm gonna go through with my widest comb first. I could go through with this Greyhound comb and use that coarse side, see the wider side, rather than the finer side. I could, right? It's just faster by using a wider tooth comb that have thicker teeth. So this is just gonna get it done faster, and then I can go through with this and, you know, double check my work. But alrighty, so they call it line brushing. You want to start from the back to the front, bottom to the top. So we just want to brush out all that dead hair that's causing the hair to mat up and tangle. Alrighty. Oh, my mask. There we go. Because what you're going to notice is when you're close, you see like all this powdery stuff just, you know, burst out of the skin and burst out of the coat while you're combing them, especially in the areas where the comb catches. It's going to catch on a piece of skin, even on the tail here. And then when you comb it out, you'll see like dead skin cells, like these powdery stuff come out along with that dead hair. So, and it's natural, it's normal for their hair to cycle through like this. It's just how they stay clean. It's how they keep fresh. Because we have the luxury of buying new clothes, new underwear as they get old and tattered. Dogs don't. So when their hair gets old and dirty and damaged, they have no way to fix it or repair it. There's no doggy alterations for doggy hair. So they just get rid of it. Their skin, their pores just get rid of that follicle, that hair. But it still sits in there in the skin, because when you sometimes what I'll see is I'll get a bundle of hair still attached by the root. It's like this bundle of hair, right? And then you see this little dead skin piece. Then you see a bunch of hair under it, right? A long piece of hair under that skin piece. That means that's how deep that hair is rooted. That's why it doesn't just come out. Oh, what's up, Jennifer? Jennifer Ann Doyle says hello. Okay. So see, the reason why we want to go from the back to the front is because once I get the back combed out, there's no more tangled up dead hair there. And so, you know, it's easy to comb out the hair in front of it. If I start from, look at that, see? If I start from up top here and I work my way down, it's gonna be a struggle the whole way down because I'm pushing the mats all the way down. But if I start from the back here, see that, how it just goes through? Then, because it's gone down here, as I go up the back, you know, it's just the new mats here in this new area. See that? So it's much easier. And they call it line brushing. See that? Wow. I actually saw like a bunch of nasty stuff come out right there. So that's what we're after. I'm not actually after the dead hair. I am, but only because as I pull these dead hairs out of his skin is becoming clear as well. So, Bianca Michelle Armstrong, brilliant. Oh, thank you. So, as I'm combing out this dead hair, along with it, if you can see at the root there, there's a bunch of cruddy stuff, powdery stuff, just, you know, like cellular debris. And that's all being packed in those pores, and that's what's causing kind of the bumpiness. So, and I like to run my hand through because you can literally feel the difference. It literally starts to feel smoother and not so grainy and brittle. It starts to feel soft and silky. So that's how I know I'm making progress, you know, when you can literally feel the difference. Okay, so start on this side as well. Oh, it feels good, huh? So yeah, I haven't combed him in a while, just because I've been so busy and tired. So what kind of comb is that? This is a Resco number 80. It's an ergonomic style comb. So, but really you can use any comb you like. You know, you don't have to use a certain brand. I could even use this comb on the coarse side, you know, and this is just a no-name brand. I think it's Paul Brothers or something like that. But yeah, so the tool doesn't matter as much as the willing person, the willing hands to do, you know, what's necessary. And this is the difficult and necessary part of the groom, in my opinion. Because in my opinion, me personally, I love washing the dog. It's easy, it's fun. I'm just massaging and lathering it in, you know, and rinsing the dog. And they actually look really cute when they're wet. So the bathing the dog is actually the fun part for me. I love the handle on that one. Oh yeah, that's Cotty South says, I love the handle on that. Yeah, I do too. It's nice and easy to grip. So, but again, like I said, you can use this comb as well, but it is a little faster to use one with wider teeth, that wider, longer, stronger teeth. There we go. So now with the legs, I'm gonna work from the bottom to the top. See that? So get the bottom first, and then work up that leg. Do you ever wet brush or comb? Yes, and I was explaining that I do like to spray the coat down with conditioner and get it wet before, and I'm using Charlie Dog, because I just love how it's made with a bunch of oils in it and things like that. So, good boy, Weemy. There we go. Nice. So with the leg, let me see if I can put it at a different angle here so you can see. So with his leg, I'm gonna go from the bottom to the top. Let me use the wide side here. From the bottom, and I'm gonna work my way up. See that? And that way the dead hair and the tangles and everything, I'm not working them all the way down, you know? I'm working them out as I go. So it's easier as I go up. And the tangles, once they're combed out of the bottom side, once they're combed out, they're out. You don't have to worry about it, see? So I can even go through with the finer side, because once they're out, they're out. They're not gonna grow back that quickly. It needs time to grow back. So, get that. See at the bottom of the feet first, and then you work your way up. See that? Do you always brush before bath? I don't want to say always, and I've been getting a little bit better about not being so rigid, and that's from Bianca Michelle Armstrong. Now before, I was just firing clients. If they told me like, could you please not take so long? You know, the grooming appointments are just taking like 3-4 hours, and you know, I don't think my dog can stand it, the stress, and so I would just tell them find another groomer. You know, I was very rigid, and so, but I've been learning to work around that, especially the dogs who I do see regularly, like every 3-4 weeks. You know, as long as the owners are okay with it, then sometimes I don't brush them. I'll just put them right in the tub and do as much as I can in the tub while they are lathered. And then as I rinse them, rinse out as much of the dead hair as I can, you know, just with my hands, just pulling it out. So I work around it. So I don't do it all the time. It's not always, but I do recommend it on every dog. But you know, again, I'm learning to be more flexible with people because, you know, so the client where I respected what she was saying, that her dogs just, you know, can't really handle the stress and the time it takes and everything. So I put the dogs in the tub first, and I did shaving, of course, like the sanitary shave and then shaving the pads of the feet. I did that before the bath because I don't want them to itch. But then, you know, after the bath, while they were drying, I combed out, I brushed out and combed out as much as I could. And then I combed and brushed out a little bit more after the haircut. And, you know, there's a lot more of this kind of hair still there. Maybe not as noticeable because it was after the bath. But I knew there was more work to be done that could be done. But I stopped. I made myself stop. And you know, and the thing is, they look great. You know, to the common eye, nobody's really gonna be able to tell the difference. But she was telling me that she's so pleased. She was like, I'm so pleased right now. And she told me that the level that I'm pleased, I don't think that it could get any higher just because you work 2 extra hours, you know? So it really helped me understand, like, yeah, she was saying that, like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being perfect, I'm a 15. And I was like, wow, thank you. You know, she was like, but I'm happy with anything above an 8. You know, she's like, you don't have to be a 15. You don't even have to be a 10. You can just be an 8, and I would be so pleased. And so it really helped me. I thought I was becoming much better at not being such a perfectionist, but, you know, obviously I still have a lot of work to do. Trish Renee, that's what I meant by wet brushing. I bathe and condition, and before I towel dry, is brushing comb. Yes, nice, nice. So, and the thing is, he even looks cleaner now. He even looks a little bit whiter. You know, not so brown like up here he looks brown where I didn't comb. Right here, he kind of almost looks white again. You know, because I'm combing out that dull, dirty hair that's dead. There we go. And you can see it even. It's like a web. It's like a web of just cottony, woolly coat. You can even see it when you lift the hair up and look down at his skin. You can even see all of that. Look at that. Alrighty. Now again, I'm trying not to be such a perfectionist and not get all of it, you know, because that's going to take a lot of time. And obviously I can still comb more out while I'm drying him. And then before the haircut and after the haircut, I'm going to do some more combing. So again, I am getting a little bit better at like holding myself back, you know, toning it down a little bit. But here's the thing, if you have the same problem, I think that it's much better to have to try to tone your work down than to try to pick it up. You know, like if you're used to just doing just a, you know, mediocre job, just enough, you know, to get by, and then all of a sudden you're required to pick it up a notch, you know, really take it up a notch and, you know, pour it on, and people are like, come on, I need more, you know, from you. That's a lot harder than if you're already in the habit of giving more and going the extra mile, and, you know, and people are like, hey, you need to tone it down a little bit, you know, can you tone it down? That's much better. Connie, what does this say? Connie Calhoun Dweck says, may I ask, don't you think it would go a little bit faster if you brushed it and then combed to respect? Oh, yeah, I can't see it. I'll like it, but I can't see the rest right now, Connie. But yeah, I see where you're going. Like brush it first with the slicker brush, break it up. It does go a little bit faster, but not that much. I actually stopped using slicker brushes because I just don't like how it scrapes and scratches my own skin. Because sometimes when I'm going at it, it touches my hands, and I'll get little scrapes and scratches that you can't even see, but I feel it when it gets wet and stuff. And it just bothers me and it hurts, and I'm sure that's doing it to the dogs as well. So yeah, comb. Yeah, I got you, Connie. But yeah, for me personally, I don't like using the slicker brush anymore. I'd rather just use the combs and comb everything out. But yeah, and I do have a pin brush. I have a pin brush, it's out back, that I use on them, that you know, kind of helps break it up a little bit. But it doesn't really save that much time, you know? It still takes time. And I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I could look for ways to do it much faster and things like that, but, you know, I mean, I'm gonna do it anyways, you know? I mean, I don't mind taking a little bit more time, but yeah, I guess you're saying like to respect fully, like be respectful of the client's, you know, wishes as well. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like if I know that a certain client is really picky and kind of concerned about how long it's taking, then I will use marshmallow. Oh, okay. The marshmallow spray. That's cool. That's Nada Maldonado. Hey, Nada, what's up? So, for clients who are kind of particular about how long it's taking, I will use a brush and just kind of brush it out, and I won't even do so much combing, you know. I'll just put them in the tub and wash them as best I can. And you know, that's the thing. That's only recently. Before I was like, I had the attitude of, if you're asking me to do less of a job, that, you know, like do less than my best, then I don't want to do business with you. So I would just fire them, and I would just call the next person on the waiting list. Now I'm learning that that's not the best approach. You know, that's not the best way to, you know, work with people, right? And so Trish says, hey, Nada, we're coworkers. Wow, that's awesome. Okay, so no, that's me asking you respectfully. Oh, Connie, oh, that's awesome. You don't have to ask me respectfully, you know. But anyways, I appreciate that though. But for the clients who do really care about the time it's taking, I do everything I can to shorten the time. But I always tell them I need at least 2 hours though, you know, because even if I just put them right in the tub, it's like 30 minutes, you know, to let the shampoo sit and rinse. And to dry takes like another 20-30 minutes, you know, and then I got to do haircut. You know, I was like, I need at least 2 hours though. And oh, Nada says, miss you. I tell them I still need 2 hours. And if you need the groom to take less than 2 hours, then I really can't, you know, I really can't. I'm not your guy. But many of my clients are okay with, you know, 2 hours. And a lot of my clients, it goes over 2 hours. It's like 3-4 hours. But, you know, here's the thing. I don't need a lot of people to agree with me or want my services, because it takes me a long time and I can only do so many dogs a day. So I only need a few, you know, and I'm busy and I have enough. Seth Godin, he's saying rather than rather than focus on trying to get bigger, try to be as small as you possibly can and serve as few people as you possibly can, but just do a really good job at it, you know? So he was saying that he doesn't write books to get new readers. He writes books for the readers he already has, and he tries to take care of them the best he can. Me also, not fast as I'd like to be. Yeah, I mean, and so the thing is, I try to work with my clients as much as I can and give them as many options as I can. But if they're just, convinced that it should only take an hour or an hour and a half, then they have to find someone else who can do it, because I just can't. I refuse, But I do try, now instead of just telling them, go find someone else, I do try to work with them. But again, going back to Seth Godin. Seth Godin says, all you really need to do is do work that you really care about, that is meaningful to you, right? And do it the best you can for the few people that found you and love you and want you to do what you do, right? Do it the way they want you to do you, right? And do the very best you can and earn enough so you can do it again tomorrow. And that's all you really need. And I was like, that's perfect. That's so simple, Yeah, all I need to do is earn enough to where I can continue doing what I love to do every day, And I don't need the mass, market. I don't need the masses to join me. I don't need 1,000 follows or likes or anything like that. I just need one or two, And those one or two will probably mean more for me than 1,000 or 2,000 likes, just random people, who like me for whatever reason, but, or, I don't know. For me, I just feel like bigger is not always better. And you can't always measure the things that matter, and the things that matter can't always be measured. Hey, what's up, Patricia? Mickey Bart. Make a living, not a killing. Yeah, exactly. And what does that one say? Okay. Speaking on making a living, not a killing, Jim Rohn says, while you're, busy trying to make a living, don't forget to design a life, So what matters is not how long you live. Mickey Barton says, you are awesome. Oh, no, thank you. And you only see what's already in you, You wouldn't think that I was awesome unless you were awesome yourself, because you wouldn't be able to recognize it, in others. So that means you're pretty awesome. Trish Renee, that's why HC is better than salons. Be at peace, not stressed. Exactly. And that's the thing. It's like I don't have to worry about how long a certain groom is taking, because we've already agreed on a price, and I already know that I'm earning enough that day. And so then I don't have to worry about, this is taking too long or whatever, or, I'm not making enough money. It's like, and here's the thing. The reason why I am suggesting a lot of, that groomers create their own YouTube channel and just make videos explaining who you are, why you believe what you believe, why you're doing what you're doing. Just make those kinds of videos. And here's why. I'm just going to be completely honest with you, because I'm pretty sure the only people who are watching right now are the people who actually care, and they trust me and they know me. So I'm just going to be honest, risking looking manipulative, okay? But YouTube just sent me $178, right? YouTube just sent me this for this month, and they pay for 2 months previous. So that means 2 months ago, I earned $178 in ad revenue from YouTube. So I just got $178 into our account a few days ago. And then Amazon, from the affiliate links, the commission for the product links, also the book royalties, the book sales, the paperback, because the ebook is free. But the paperback sales, I just got an additional like $40, I think. So total, I got over $200 just from passive income, YouTube and Amazon. So that's why I'm saying it's really good idea to start and set it up now. And I started the YouTube channel 6 years ago, and I was never getting anything like this. This is all just recent. So, but the thing is, you'll have in 5 to 6 years, you'll have something that can help supplement your income, and perhaps even grow to sustain you. And you don't even have to groom for money anymore. You just groom because you love it, and money's just coming in from all these other channels. So that's why I'm suggesting that. And here's the thing, it is hard for about 5-6 years, and it does take a lot of commitment. You gotta stay up late lose a lot of, sacrifice your sleep. But 5 or 6 years is gonna go by anyways. What else are you gonna do in 5, 6 years, But at least if you do that every single day for the next 5, 6 years, in 5, 6 years from now, things will be very different for you, Some comments coming in here. I'm glad that I'm not the only slow groomer. Bianca, yeah, you don't have to be fast. This is not a race. Yamel Nachas, hi from Phoenix, Arizona. Hey, Barbara. What's up, Barbara? I met Barbara in person, and hopefully I didn't creep her out. Trish Renee, how do you do Amazon? I just started a YouTube channel. Trish, congratulations, first of all. Thank you so much for having the courage to start your own YouTube channel and put yourself out there. Because just to get you ready for it, just to help brace yourself a little bit, there's going to be people who comment on your videos in the beginning, and they're going to say you suck. They're going to say you're a terrible human being. They're going to say all kinds of stuff. One person even was like, do you need Jenny Craig's phone number? It's like, come on, dude. I got Jenny Craig's phone number on speed dial. Anyways, they're gonna criticize you. They're gonna hate you. They're gonna say all kinds of mean stuff about you in the beginning. But then as you continue going, as you keep going, and you don't let that bother you or stop you, and you keep making your kinds of videos the way you want to, then slowly but surely, little by little, a little becomes a lot. And then you get this following of like 20,000 subscribers. And then the haters are scared to even comment on your videos. Your haters are scared to make fun of you and ridicule you because they know that you have so many people now that are probably going to start attacking them for attacking you. It gets to that point. You kind of almost build yourself an army in 5, 6 years. So just stay with it. Don't let anybody discourage you or put you down enough to where you want to quit. Now to get to your answer about Amazon. You need a website to have a Amazon affiliate link. To join the Amazon affiliate program. And what you do is go to Amazon's website, scroll all the way to the bottom of the Amazon's website, and you'll see a little link saying affiliate program, right? Or Amazon affiliate or something like that. Click that link, it'll take you to their affiliate program website, and you can apply to be an Amazon affiliate. Now, if you don't have a website, I believe you can use a WordPress website, make your own WordPress blog and use that as your website. And that's free, because I use my website, JuneTheGroomer.com. It used to be WordPress.com/JuneTheGroomer, because I was using it for free. But then once my domain expired, the Frific Spa domain expired, I changed it, and now I pay for WordPress to host my site, JuneTheGroomer.com. So anyways, once you have a website that's yours, you apply on Amazon's website, the Amazon affiliate program, and then they'll give you you'll have a dashboard where you can look up any product that's sold on Amazon, and it'll give you a link. Then you highlight the link and get short link. Get the short link, because you don't want this big long link that looks like a virus. You want a short link, right? And then get that short link, and then you paste it onto any description of your videos and things like that. And when someone clicks on that link and they buy that product, you get a commission. Not only that, you get a commission on everything they buy, everything that's in their cart, and that's amazing. And so, so that's how you do Amazon affiliate links. I actually did a video on that here on Facebook. Maybe I'll do another one just to update it. Here we go. Okay, so Trish said, how do you do Amazon? Barbara, yes, we met. I'm doing great. Enjoying your videos. Oh, thank you. Connie, so sad. Trish says, I haven't spoken yet, but just a time-lapse video and an event video. Okay, perfect. My first video I deleted because it was just so bad. Hi from the UK. What's up, Karen McFall? I remember you. Hi from the UK. I love your honesty. Thank you. Mickey Barton, that's my fear. I couldn't handle the haters. The haters are supposed to hate. That's why we call them haters. We wouldn't call them haters if they didn't hate. Correct. I spend hours on a dog. I've been questioned for taking 6 hours on a long-haired Mastiff. Long-haired Mastiff, 6 hours? I say you were really hustling. And that's the thing. I think educating the public of what exactly goes on, and that this is a live being with his own feelings, right, buddy? And so I don't want him to feel like this is a rush thing, just on my to-do list. Come on, let's get it done. I want him to think that this is something I'm doing because I care about him. And it is, you know? Keenan says, that is where I found you a few years ago on YouTube. Ah, perfect. Yes. So that's the thing. It's like people, I think people are looking for like other people that they agree with, you know? And by putting yourself out there and by putting your opinions and your unique perspective on things and sharing it, having the courage to share it, because it is scary. Anytime you share any opinion of yours or something that you believe, the fear is somebody's gonna say, oh no, you're wrong. You're an idiot, you know? And now all these people know. I just made you look stupid in public, you know? Now, if my self-worth, if my self-value, my self-esteem was based, it was, you know, predicated on, you know, me having to be smart, me having to be intelligent, then yes, that would really hurt my self-image. That would really hurt my self-esteem, right? But if I change the way I view myself and I tell myself, I don't have to be smart and I don't have to be this intelligent guy and I don't have to be smarter than anybody else. I just have to be willing to learn. I have to be a willing learner. And how quickly can I learn new things? How quickly can I adjust to new information? You know, and that means that it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to look stupid. It's okay to be an idiot or ignorant, because now I can take this new information because I'm not a smart person. I'm an eager learner, right? So then I don't have to be right all the time. I just have to be willing to learn. So when I change my self-image, you know, how I value myself as a person, I don't have to be right. I just have to be willing to learn. You know, then when someone tries to, you know, bash me or put me down or say, hey, look at this, you wrote this last year and, you know, you're totally stupid, I would say, oh, you're right. Thank you so much. Now I've learned, right? And my self-esteem is not damaged at all. It doesn't, because my self-esteem is based on I'm a learner and I just learned something. Bianca, it is encouraging that you are doing house call. I am currently not grooming because I'm homeschooling. Oh, okay. I can't finish the rest. I can't see the rest, but I'll go back and read the rest of that comment. But I'm assuming you're saying you're homeschooling your children, which I think is amazing. We were doing the same thing, homeschooling our girls. So, you know, and everybody has their reasons for homeschooling or not homeschooling. And so I don't want to say that any one way is right or wrong. You know, this is just our way for our children. And it might be wrong. We'll find out in a few years, right? But I was telling my wife, no matter how much we mess up as parents, there's no possible way we can mess up as bad as our parents. You know, it's like, you know, I did not reach adulthood because of my parents. It's like in spite of them, you know. Bianca, they actually sell portable tubs for small dogs. Ah, perfect. Yeah, they do sell portable tubs for small dogs. But I prefer to use people's, you know, sinks, or if they have a utility sink in their laundry room, or like they'll have a utility sink in their garage, or you know, a lot of people just let me use their bathtubs, you know, their shower stalls. So I just work with whatever, you know, whatever the situation is, I just work with it. Alrighty. So for me, it's all about, you know, just, you know, being self-aware, you know, like, what is it that I like? What is it that I want to do, you know, and do that. And don't let other people try to convince you that you're doing it wrong, you know, because we're all just on this, you know, sea of life, you know, we're all going through this jungle of life, trying to figure it out. And, you know, it would be silly for someone to call out and say, hey, I think you're going the wrong way, you know, it's like, you could be going the wrong way, you know. So, oh, you know what? For anybody who's watching, I'll give you the master key. So there's a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. There's also a lot of other books, you know, about, you know, self-help books and things like that. I'll just cut right to the chase of all of them. Just give you like the Cliff's Notes, you know, so you don't have to go through and read them all, because they all pretty much say the same thing, just different examples. Basically, the key to success in life is discipline, self-discipline. That's it. I mean, it's like basically 600 to 800 words to basically tell you that. It's all about self-discipline. Making yourself do what you know you're supposed to do. Doing what's difficult and necessary before you do what's fun and easy. They say that, Brian Tracy, he said, the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people is that successful people do what unsuccessful people refuse to do. And what do unsuccessful people refuse to do? It turns out that it's the same thing that unsuccessful people don't like to do. The only difference is, I mean, okay, so what do unsuccessful people not like to do? It turns out it's the same thing that successful people don't like to do either. The difference is successful people do it anyways, right? And so that really kind of hit home to me. You know, it's like, yeah, nobody really likes to do the difficult and necessary things. But the difference between success and failure is the ability to make yourself do what you know you should do, you know? And I'm a hypocrite, you know? I'm not telling you that I mastered this, you know, because I know that I'm not supposed to be eating 5 Reese's, you know, at night before I, you know, go to sleep after the gym, you know? I go work out, I exercise, but then I just want to munch, you know, and McDonald's and everything just looks so good at that time. And so, yeah, it's like 5 Reese's, that's just the start. Then you got the Twix, then you got the Kit Kat bars. It's Halloween, baby. I'm not sure if any of the kids that come over tonight are gonna get any candy. But anyway, so what I'm saying is, I know I shouldn't eat that. So the self-discipline comes in if I can catch myself, become aware, and say, you know what? I'm not gonna eat that last one. 5 is enough. But okay, you know what? There's a really good example of why self-discipline, the ability to be where you're supposed to be when you're supposed to be there. Do what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to do it. There's a really good story, comes from the Bible, of King David and Bathsheba. You don't even have to be like a Bible scholar or a Christian or anything to know this story. It's pretty, you know that Shrek song, that Hallelujah song? It's about David and Bathsheba. Well, not all of it, but what is the dog's name? He or she is adorable. This is Weemy. This is my dog, Weemy. He's a Maltese Shih Tzu mix. He's about 6 years old now. Right, honey? He's 6 years old? 6 years old now. But this is my dog, Weemy. And I haven't combed or brushed him in a few weeks, you know, and so he's just really, he's in a bad shape. If I did though, if I spent just 10 minutes a day combing him, he wouldn't be like this and it wouldn't take this long. It's because I didn't do it. I didn't do what I was supposed to do because I was tired, you know, it was late. There's other things, you know. What's that? Yeah, guilty as charged, you know. So I'm not telling you the secret to success, which is self-discipline. I'm not telling you that because I've mastered it. I'm telling you that because even if you find out that that is the key to success, it's really hard to work that key, baby. You gotta really wiggle it. He is so well behaved. Hello, the groomer's dog never gets groomed. Exactly. Well, and he's well behaved because I've always, you know, tried to make grooming a very pleasant experience for him. And if you make it a really pleasant experience, and he knows me, he loves me, I'm his daddy, we just went on a walk, you know, we were outside. So because he has this relationship and trust with me, he's just kind of taking a nap, and this is very relaxing for him. And it's supposed to, when you, just like brushing our own, you know, children's hair, it releases those oxytocins, those bonding hormones, like a mother and daughter, you know, mother and child. And so, yeah, that's why I kind of stroke them as well. And also I want to feel the area that I combed. Once this feels nice and soft and silky, that's when I know that, you know, it's good enough for the bath. And look at that. Already he's looking so much cleaner, right? And soft and white, just from combing him. Okay, so back to the story of David and Bathsheba, King David. What kind of comb are you using? This is a Resco 80. It's an ergonomic comb. I've already covered that Keenan Bolton in the beginning of this video, but you missed that. You were late. That's I'm just kidding. Keenan's probably like, I'm out. Screw this guy. F this guy. I'm sorry, Keenan. I'm a little buzzed. I got some Cabernet, yellowtail Cabernet. My wife's giving me this look. Oh, you're good. Shoot, you can't get any louder than me. What kind of comb are you? Okay, perfect. LOL. Thank you. Thank you for the LOL, Keenan. I was feeling a little bit self-conscious here. I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have joked around like that. Connie. Oh, somebody else gets my humor. Okay. So, King David. So King David, the king of Israel in the Bible, and this story is in 2 Kings or 2 Samuel or something like that. Anyways, it's been a long time since I read the Bible. I read the whole thing through several times when I was younger, but it's been at least 10 years since I've read the Bible. Whoa, that's a long time. I mean, I read quotes and stuff here and there. I brush up, but you know, like reading it straight through, it's been at least 10 years. But anyways, so King David. Oh man, it's been more than 10 years. Anyways, so King David, the way the story starts out, right? If you guys don't know, King David had an affair with a lady named Bathsheba, but the way it happened is when you read the story in the Bible, it mentions that the nation of Israel is at war. Israel is at war, right? But the type of war it was, I remember hearing a pastor talk about this. The type of battle that it was already won. It was pretty much already in the bag. It was just kind of like going through the motions, you know, like even the other side knew that they lost. And so King David, there was really not a big need for him to be there, but he is the king of Israel, and he was supposed to be there on the battlefield with his men. But he wasn't, right? And it seemed like no big deal because the battle was already won, right? It's a done deal. And so it kind of felt like, who cares if I'm not there, right? And so he left, and he was at his palace in the comfort of, you know, his luxurious palace, right? And so he can't sleep one night, so he goes up to the roof, and that Hallelujah song, you know, your faith was strong, but you needed proof. You saw her bathing on the roof. Her beauty in the moonlight overthrew ya. You know, it overthrew him. He saw her bathing in the moonlight, and it got the better of him. You know, he lost to his lust, right? And so he calls her over and sleeps with her, right? Then to cover up his misdeed, you know, to cover up his sin, his mistake, he orders her husband, Uriah, back from the battlefield and tells her husband, hey, go and lay with your wife tonight. Have a nice night. And so he tries to trick Uriah into sleeping with his wife, so just in case she gets pregnant, you know, nobody will know that she had an affair with him, right? And isn't that so much like all of us? You know, when we make a mistake, rather than, you know, face the consequences, of course, I do it too. Try to cover it up, you know, get away with it. And so then he sends Uriah back to the battlefield, and he puts him on the front lines. He orders his captain to put Uriah, the husband of Bathsheba, on the front lines. They go into battle, and he dies. Uriah dies. So David pretty much caused his death, caused him to die. And then he married his wife, Bathsheba, took her as his wife. So then, you know, but nobody knows anything happened. Nobody is suspicious of him, of anything. So he feels like, I got away with this, right? I'm good. So then a prophet, Nathan, comes, and he tells him about this man. He tells him there's a rich man and a poor man. They live in the same town. The rich man has hundreds of sheep and lambs, and he, you know, has hundreds of livestock. The poor man only has one ewe lamb, and he's had it since she was a baby. And she has a plate at his table, and he sleeps with her, you know, and he treats her like his own daughter. He loves her. That's the only possession that he has. He only has that one ewe lamb. And now the rich man has visitors come over. Friends come to visit him. And instead of taking one of his own sheep and one of his own lambs, and he has hundreds, He takes the poor man's lamb and slaughters it for his guests. And King David gets enraged, right? Because we hate in others that which we hate in ourselves. You know, a lot of times for me too, when I find myself getting really upset with someone, I have to stop and ask myself, why is this causing me to feel so angry? Why is this making me so upset? Is it because I do this sometimes, right? And so, yeah, like he couldn't recognize his own sin, but he saw it immediately. He recognized this in someone else, right? So he jumps into a rage and he says, that rich man should be put to death and all his livestock be given to the poor man, you know, four times fold. And he was saying, you know, who is this rich man? I need to know so that I can personally make sure his sentence gets carried out and he gets put to death. Nathan looks at David and says, thou art the man. That's, wow. I was like, that's cold, baby. That's gangster. That's like a boss right there. Nate, that prophet didn't care if he was the king of Israel or whatever his title was. He was like, you are that man. And then he even tells him, God said, I gave you everything. You know, I gave you everything that your heart could have wanted. And if that wasn't enough, all you had to do was ask, and I would have given you more. Why did you have to take this man's wife and, you know, and do this great evil in the sight of the Lord? And then he said, I'm going to cause evil to rise up within you, within your own house. You know? And I don't think that was God punishing David. I think that was him just letting him know this is the consequence. This is what happens because you did that, you know? I don't think that was God being like mean or trying to, you know, like, oh, I'm going to get the belt, you know? You got the belt this time, and angrily punishing David. I think God was more heartbroken and just letting him know, unfortunately, this is what's going to happen because you did that. Now let's just back up all the way to the beginning of the story. If David was just there on the battlefield like he was supposed to be because he was king of Israel, if he was on the battlefield like he was supposed to be and not at home at the palace, none of this would have ever even happened. He left his position where he was supposed to be and took the fun and easy route, which led him to the roof, which led him to look down on Bathsheba, which led him to conspire, and all of that. It's like if you just back all the way up and just if he was just at the battlefield and made himself do what he knew he was supposed to do, that's the importance of self-discipline. It seems like it's no big deal, but it really can escalate so quickly into a huge big deal. Bianca, love the Bible story and grooming. I would never have thought I would hear them together, but I am so glad. Do more videos. Oh, man. And I'm sorry. I mean, anybody that doesn't like the whole preachiness and everything, I'm not trying to preach. It's just, I just thought it was a good example of why self-discipline is so important and why self-discipline really is the key, the main factor between what. Oh, did you know this? So reading Millionaire Next Door, most millionaires are not what you think. And it is very possible for anybody to become a millionaire. All you have to do is really, pinch and save and scrimp and put every extra dollar you have into investment funds, mutual funds, and things like that. Charles Schwab, just keep reinvesting it, and then the compounding interest. By the time if you start in your 20s, by the time you're in your 50s, you'll be a millionaire. And this is possible for anybody. Now that I know that it is possible to be a millionaire, I can be a self-made millionaire, and that's one of the ways I can do it. Is just really budget very tightly, bootstrapping it, and just really budgeting and putting every extra dollar into investment funds and not touching it and reinvesting it, constantly put it back in and reinvest it into index funds and stuff like that. But now that I know that is possible, I have to ask myself, is that really what I want? Is that really the life I want, though? Because, I guess scrape and scrape and scratch every penny. But all of that time has gone by. And now I'm 60 years old. I'm a millionaire. But all that youth, the time when I was young and I could actually go hiking with my kids and everything, I sacrificed all that. For what? To have $1 million when I die? But I can't take it with me. So now that I know it is possible, I don't... hi, June. Okay. I don't know if that's actually what I want, because yeah, it's not about what you get. It's about who you become, you know? And I don't want my daughters to not have the experiences that they have with me while I still can run around and play with them and everything, you know? And then later on when I'm 60 years old, okay, girls, let's go on a trip to Hawaii, you know, because I'm rich now, you know, now we can spend some time together and play. You know, I'm sorry I couldn't before. I was spending all my time working and saving up money so I can become a millionaire. It's like, I don't know. I mean, not that that's wrong. All I'm saying is it's wrong for me. I don't think that I would enjoy that. Dave Ramsey follower here. Oh, what's up, Bianca? Yeah, Dave Ramsey lays it out exactly. Several different ways. I mean, Dave Ramsey has all kinds of options and, you know, routes that you can take to becoming a self-made millionaire. You know, but there's another book called The 4-Hour Workweek where Tim Ferriss talks about the new rich and how the new rich, they don't trade their time for money. And the new rich, it's not about having millions in your bank account. You know, it's about having freedom, financial freedom, freedom with your time, you know, enjoying a life, you know, a lifestyle that you like. And that's what it's all about. And I really like that. So if anybody is interested, I would recommend in this order, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. I love that book. That was the first book that actually got me thinking differently and realizing that poor is a state of mind, and broke is not a bad thing. Everybody goes broke. Broke is temporary, but poor is permanent because it's a state of mind. You know, you can be broke, but you don't have to be poor. So I was like, wow, it's a way of thinking. I had a poor mentality. So anyways, that was the first book that really kind of opened my eyes into thinking differently about wealth, you know, and what it means to be rich or poor. Then I would recommend the next book after Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Millionaire Next Door. And Millionaire Next Door, I mean, it's shocking that the actual millionaires, the people who are actually self-made millionaires, don't live in nice flashy houses and they don't drive nice flashy cars, you know? And they had this conference where they invited all these self-made millionaires so they could ask them questions. And they had these nice, like, expensive pates, you know, caviar, all this stuff that they saw in the movies that they thought rich people would enjoy. And they had champagne and all this expensive stuff. And when this one guy came to the door, they asked him, you know, what he wanted to drink. They had, you know, we have champagne, we have the best wine, you know. He was like, I drink two kinds of, like, alcohol, scotch. He's like, I drink two kinds of alcohol, scotch and beer. And he was like, and I drink two kinds of beer, Budweiser and Free. You know, so, and then none of the millionaires touched the pates or, you know, the caviar or anything. They ate the crackers, the cheese and crackers, you know? I mean, it's practical. And so anyways, the self-made Millionaire Next Door, just so you can kind of change the mindset and realize that anybody can be a millionaire. Then the 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss, because then it'll kind of guide you into what the new rich is, you know? And then, let's see. Oh, and then The Science of Getting Rich. The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles. Now, I really like that book because it breaks down that it's not about doing certain things. It's about doing things in a certain way. You know, it's not about just grooming dogs. It's about grooming dogs in a certain way, right? Being unique, being different. And he brings up all kinds of different examples. But one thing I really liked about that book is it helped me become a little bit more comfortable with the idea of becoming rich, the word rich. For me, growing up, the word rich was a very bad word. You know, you didn't want to be rich. Rich people were bad, evil, you know, they don't care about other people, they're greedy, you know, all this stuff. And so, you know, I was a big Bible thumper, you know, when I was a kid. And so I would always think about the story of Jesus and the rich man and how he told him, you know, that it's easier for a rich man to go through the eye of a needle. No, it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to enter the gates of heaven. And so I always just had this very negative view of money, of people who are rich, you know, things like that. the science of getting rich really helped me with that, you know, and it helped me realize that the desire to become rich is actually godly. It's a desire to become fully realized, you know, to become all that you can be, to reach your full potential in life, and that's a good thing. It's a noble cause, you know, and also it helped me realize that rich is not actually a number, you know, it's actually how you feel inside, you know, and you know, the thing is, your health is more important than your wealth. And if you have health, you actually have wealth. And a lot of people don't realize that. We don't even realize how lucky we are to be healthy until we lose our health. And that's when we realize, I didn't need all this money. I just needed my health, you know? Because now you're spending all this money to get your health back. So the Dalai Lama even says, or I think it was Buddha that originally said it, but he was saying that human beings are very funny creatures. You know, we spend all our time and energy trying to make a lot of money, and then we spend our later years spending all the money we accumulated to try to get our health back. You know, we sacrifice our health and our time to get money, but then we have to end up spending our time and money to try to get our health back later, and then we die never really enjoying our time here. And I just thought, how interesting, you know, because that's really kind of what I was taught to do. You know, go to school, work really hard, you know, and find a good company that you can be safe and secure in, get a safe, secure position in the company, you know, buy a house, retire, you know, save up, retire, and then that's it. You know, it's like, I don't know if that's for me. And I'm not saying that that's wrong for anyone else. It's just, for me, I don't think I would be happy. Teresa, we both had our own businesses in big city, worked hard, raised our kids, sold out, paid everything. Teresa moved to... Yeah, and that's the thing. I originally thought that I wanted to be, you know, successful and have a big house, have a nice business, nice car. And when we got our shop down in Buckhead, I literally thought that that was my ticket, you know? And I'm so glad it didn't work out, because the amount of hours I spent there, you know, and I understand now what it means to be a prisoner of your own success. You know, at a certain point, you reach a level where you're earning so much, you're used to a certain level of income, a salary, and then you're scared to lose that position because, you know, you're scared to lose that salary. And then you're stuck doing a job that you actually don't like. Sometimes you absolutely hate. But you're doing it because, you know, you might lose your house and everything else and your security, you know, but so there's a gentleman downtown, not my client, but anyways, he has a really nice multi-million-dollar condo right there in Buckhead, and they're about to buy the unit next to theirs so they can break the wall down and create an even bigger condo so that his wife can have a bigger closet. Now, he's screwed, right? Because you already have this multi-million-dollar condo. You're going to buy the one next to it. Then you're going to spend all this money doing construction and everything. Now you need that job. Now you need that position as an accountant at that high-level company. If you ever lose that position, now you're screwed, right? So he actually becomes a prisoner of his own success, you know, because he needs to show his success, you know, because without the validation of others, is it really real, you know? So you need to show it off so that other people can validate that you're successful. And then it's golden handcuffs, seriously, golden handcuffs. And you might be comfortable, it might be a very comfortable prison, but it's still a prison, you know? You still have to go to work doing something you don't like so that you can pay for things that you don't really need, so you can impress people that don't really like you. Yeah, Will Smith said, you know, and so many people have said, and that's the thing. The more books I read, the more I realize everybody's saying the same thing. They're just saying it differently and using their own examples. Bianca, do you have a portable bathtub or do you use client's tub? I use a client's tub and there's sinks. Like him, I'm going to use my kitchen sink. But yeah, I mean, I have I was showing in my trunk. I have another bag with empty bottles with a little shower cap adapter that you can screw on top. It's called the bottle blaster. And for the dogs where I don't have a portable shower head, like a sprayer nozzle, then I use those bottles filled with water, and I use that, you know, as like a portable shower head. Other places I use this adapter that I hook up to their sink, and then it has like a 6-foot hose, and then I you know, if the tub is close enough to their sink, then I do that. But yeah, some dogs I just wash them in their driveway. I have a big English Golden Retriever that I just wash her in the driveway. But yeah, I mean, I am getting much better at using no way as the way, just being flexible with things. All right. So we're almost done. We're halfway done. Oh man, I gotta blow my nose. Oh, I don't have a tissue. That's all good. But I got this side all combed out now. Now I just gotta comb out this side. And the thing is, it feels so much better. His skin feels better. Look at this. I actually look at how dirty my hand is. See that? And look at that stuff. It's like I can see like little worm-looking yellow things coming out too as I comb. You know, and it's that stuff that was building up inside those pores. As I comb it out, it comes out, and it looks like little stringy yellow stuff. Look at that. Oh, honey, are you right there? Can you give me a napkin or something? I can blow my nose. Actually, I'm good. I'm just gonna, cause I don't have my mask on. That's why. Tia Anger, how would you wash a huge dog in winter? I live northeast Utah, northeast USA. Okay, so for big dogs, I mean, I do most of my big dogs in my client's bathroom, you know, in their bathtub or their shower stall. But for example, the English Golden Retriever, who I wash in their driveway. Oh, thank you, honey. I don't wash her in the wintertime. When it gets cold, we just do dry baths. You know, I do the coat conditioner, leave-in coat conditioner, and so and brush her out really good. And you know, it's pretty much just as good as a bath. Of course, it would be nice if we could wash her and do the full thing, but during the cold months. Oh yeah. Sorry about that, guys. So one dog I take to the self-wash called Paul Stan and wash him there at the self-wash place. Oh, I have a Great Pyrenees who I take to the pet supermarket right up here and wash the Great Pyrenees in the self-wash station. I do all the combing and all the prep work before I take them to the pet supermarket. I do it at their client's house. But then when it comes time to wash and dry, I take them to the self-wash, wash, dry, and then they're done. So yeah, I mean, you know, I just think of options, you know, solutions. Yeah, just kind of be creative, and that's kind of what I like about house calls too, because every house is different, every dog and every situation is different. So, you know, even though I have a process that I follow that helps me stay consistent, still, it's always a little different, you know, and every situation is a little different. And sometimes things happen. You know, like my dryer giving out during the middle of the groom. You know, sometimes my clippers will stop working during the middle of the groom. You know, so, and the main thing for me is no matter what happens, just learning to maintain my composure. You know, don't lose my cool. Don't lose my control of my emotions or my thoughts. You know, just breathe and stay composed. You know. and I even kind of make it a joke, but like when things happen like that, like something falls and breaks or shatters or something unexpected, I just breathe and I say, thank you, universe, for giving me this opportunity to practice patience, you know, or thank you, universe, for giving me this opportunity to practice controlling myself, you know, and just look at everything as an opportunity to grow, opportunity to, you know, make better choices, make better decisions, you know, respond better to situations. Okay, no, I'm good. Thank you so much, honey. Okay, awesome. So, oh, wow, those are great ideas. Thank you. Oh, you're welcome, Tia. Is it Tia or T? Lisa Roberts, been house call for 5 years now. Sold 2 very successful shops to do it. Wow, and you love it. And that's the thing, you may not be making as much as you did when you had 2 shops, but again, it's not really about how much you make, right? It's about how you feel, how fulfilled are you in your job. And they did a study, several studies on this, and several companies actually did private studies on this, but they found out that job fulfillment, feeling fulfilled at your job, feeling happy, even though it can be stressful, of course. Every day, every job has its moments and it can get stressful. But even during the hard days where it's stressful, the people who feel the most fulfilled in the work that they do, in their job, they're not the one, it's not because of their paycheck. It's never the paycheck. It's always how involved do they feel? How important to the company do they feel? How connected to the other coworkers do they feel? That's actually what brings job fulfillment, much more than the paycheck. So, I mean, of course, I take the paycheck, I love getting the paycheck, but it's more than the paycheck. It's knowing that my clients, appreciate what I do, knowing that their dogs feel better, they look better, knowing that they're happy, and that I created calm and comfort for the dog. They don't have to itch and scratch and be uncomfortable anymore. The owners are happy, they have peace of mind. Knowing that I did this and that they appreciate it, that actually makes me feel so much more happy than, taking payment for the service. Why don't you get a mobile grooming truck with everything in it? My truck has a big tub, small tub, all. Yeah, because I don't want to, spend the extra money, like, maintaining it, because you have to, not only the oil change, but you got to keep the generator maintained. You know this, because you have a mobile. The gas is not cheap. Patricia, when I started, I had nowhere to park a van or trailer, so I started this way. Now I wouldn't. Yeah, for me, it's just that extra expense of having to pay for the van and having to pay for the maintenance, the tires, all of that. I think it would just add that little extra layer of stress for me, just me personally. I even told my wife, like, when we started our grooming business, I started to hate grooming. And she was like, I thought you said you love grooming. And I was like, yeah, I love grooming, but now that it's become about the money, and I have to groom a certain number of dogs every day to try to make a certain amount of money, and it's all just about the money and how much money can I make and how fast can I do this dog. I was like, I'm starting to really hate my job. I'm starting to hate grooming, and I'm looking at it as a job now. I was like, and I remember I told my wife that I imagine it would be like if I told somebody that I love to bake cakes, and they say, oh great, you love baking cakes? They lock me in a kitchen, they tell me bake 100 cakes, to these specifications for these people, and we need it done by this time, and I'm just sitting there baking cake after cake after cake, and I'm just trying to push them out. I was like, I would start hating baking, Same thing with grooming. I feel like, for me personally, when I had the stress of I need to make a certain amount of money by doing this, it kind of takes the joy away for me. And I'm just speaking for myself. And I'm not saying that that's better or worse, or that it's right or wrong. Nothing. I'm just saying for me personally, I don't like having to worry about needing to make money to groom. And that's actually a big reason why I work so hard on making YouTube videos and trying to create passive income through YouTube and through my books, through selling books and things like that, because I was trying to look for other ways to make money so I didn't have to worry so much about making money from grooming. But now I'm okay with it though, because I do charge enough, and I do just 2 dogs a day, sometimes 3, and everyone's happy, and it's like, yeah, I mean, it's nice now because I am making enough from grooming where I don't have to worry about any extra money coming in from other sources. But the crazy thing is, now the money from other sources is, starting to increase and is becoming, so it's interesting. It's almost like when you chase the money and you need it, it's never there. But when you start to focus on other things and you don't really worry about the money, it's like it just comes from everywhere. It's really weird. It's really interesting. Same thing with women, right? I don't know how I don't know how much things have changed, but when I was in high school, I couldn't get a date. And I wanted one so bad, I was like, oh, I wanted a girlfriend so bad when I was in high school, but I was so shy, I couldn't even talk to girls. And I never had a girlfriend until I was like 21, 20 years old, my first girlfriend. Anyways, but yeah, it just seemed like when I finally gave up, and I was like, I don't even care. I don't even want a girlfriend now, It's like, boom, like, now that I'm married, no, I was kidding. But yeah, if you are in high school, if you're watching this and you're a young man in high school or college, and you really want a girlfriend, a pretty one, one that you really get along with, and she's just gonna, make your life so much better, stop looking for her, just don't even worry about it. And start focusing more on yourself and focusing more on the type of person you need to become in order to attract that kind of person. And for some reason, when you stop chasing it, it's there, Like my wife, she's all over me. She can't keep her hands off those. Oh, hi from Norway. Vivian says hi from Norway. Patricia, very smart. I hate being worried about making enough money. Exactly. So that's why I highly suggest, start your own YouTube channel. Because on YouTube, if you get enough subscribers, right? I think it starts at 1,000 subscribers. Once you reach 1,000 subscribers, you can start earning a share of the ads, the ad revenue. So the ads that play before the videos on YouTube. And then you can start using Amazon affiliate links, write your own blog, and these are all just ways to create the possibility of extra income down the road, Oh yeah, on Etsy or Pinterest or even Shopify. But yeah, there's all kinds of ways where you can if you're not really into writing or speaking or things like that, you can make bows and accessories for dogs and sell them online. There's all sorts of ways. Yeah, and here's the thing. You don't want to give up your day job to, work full time on your side gig. Whatever it is you're working on the side, keep it on the side, So work hard on your job, but then what I did to write my books, The Art of Grooming, The 4 Steps to a Beautiful Groom, it was all written after midnight, the hours between midnight and 3 a.m. And sometimes I would sleep, pass out, and then wake up at 3 a.m. and start writing, and then maybe go back to sleep around 5, get a couple hours, But that's how I did it. And all my YouTube videos, I edited them while everyone was sleeping, and that's just what you're gonna have to do for a little bit, is go to work and then come home, kiss your children, hug them, your wife, eat dinner, spend quality time, really be there with your family. But then tuck them in bed, kiss them goodnight, and go to work, right? And start working on your side projects and things that will bring you a profit later on down the road. They're just seeds that you're planting for now. You're just planting seeds. But as long as you keep watering them, and as long as you keep consistent, those seeds will grow. And eventually, you'll have an amazing harvest, And the thing is, when a tree grows, it doesn't give you just one apple. It gives you an abundance of apples. It gives you an apple tree will give you more apples than you can possibly eat on your own. But it doesn't happen overnight. You plant the seed and it takes years. It takes a few years, and then you finally get some apples. But then every year you get more and more apples from the same tree as it grows. So treat it like that. Things may not change for you, within a year or two. But if you keep doing it, then the next year or two it starts to grow. And then 5 years has gone by, and now people recognize you as a brand. They trust you, you know, and they get to know who you are. And they can almost predict how you're gonna behave in certain situations. You know, they start to know you that well after 5 years, you know? So, I mean, when I mess up or I say something stupid and my wife gives me a look, you know, I don't think a lot of people are very surprised now. You know, especially the ones who've been watching me on YouTube for 6 years. But yeah, so you just look at it as a long run approach, you know? Imagine that you're walking in a forest, right? Just picture this, you're in a forest, it's a magical forest in Scotland somewhere, you know, or Ireland, you know, or maybe in New Zealand, you know, one of those magical looking forests, right? You're walking through the forest and you meet this strange man. He kind of looks like a wizard or something, a magician or something, you know, with a strange hat. And he says, for the next 5 to 6 years, you're gonna have to really sacrifice. You're gonna have to really commit. And it's gonna be really hard. You're gonna be tested a lot. But if you just keep working on your dreams, keep working on your ideas and your inspirations, don't give up on them, and you keep working on them, then in 6 years from now, you're gonna be, you know, rich or famous or whatever it is that you think you wanna be, right? You'll have money, you know, you won't even have to worry about money anymore, right? Like, would you do it, you know, if this magical wizard man told you, you know? And here's the thing, what if he's fake? What if he's not really magical, you know? He didn't ask you for any money or anything. Why not just try what he said, you know? 5 or 6 years is gonna go by anyways. And after really sacrificing, after really hitting it hard, you know, and committing and pushing yourself for 5, 6 years, nothing changes and you're still in pretty bad shape financially, emotionally, physically, and all that, well then you can always try something else for another 5, 6 years, you know? But I am willing to bet that if you really stick with it, you write down your goals and you work towards them for 5 years, I'm willing to bet that in 5 years from now, things will be very different for you, you know? Not that they have to be, you know? For me right now, in 5 years from now, if it was still, everything was kind of like it is now, I don't think I would mind at all, you know? Shoot, I go out and groom some dogs for people who really like it. They like me, I like them. I have a great time grooming their dogs. I feel fulfilled and happy every day when I come home, and I have a beautiful family. We have dinner together. You know, we're able to spend time and do extra activities together. We have, you know, it's like, I don't mind if things stay the same, you know, but of course they can't. Things never stay the same. The only thing you can count on is change. So I know things are gonna change, but you know, that's the thing. You can have change happen to you. You can be just a victim to it, I guess, or you can take control and guide the change, you know, change your own life in the way that you choose by being clear on what it is you want. I thought I wanted a really successful shop. Now I realize I don't, you know. I thought I wanted to be rich and famous. So Meryl Streep, she wrote a little piece in The Best Advice I Ever Got by Katie Couric. It's a book that I just finished. It was amazing. But Meryl Streep, she said something that really hit me, and it got me to think. She said that she knows what fame does to people and their families. And she was saying that she knows the struggle it creates within the family and the tension. And she said, you don't even know how precious your anonymity is until you lose it. And I just, wow. And it just reminded me of a time where I was walking into H Mart with my daughters, and Ava, she says, "Dad, you're the perfect kind of famous." And I was like, "Whoa, what does that mean?" And she goes, "You know, like you're kind of famous. People know who you are, and you know, you have fans on YouTube and stuff." And she was like, "But when we go into H Mart, nobody knows who you are. We can just shop and just do whatever we want. And nobody bothers us." You know, she was like, "You're the perfect kind of famous." And I was like, "Wow, you're right, Ava. I am the perfect kind of famous. I don't need to." Quick question: what type of comb? Okay, so this is Rita. Hi from Germany. Love to watch your videos. Thank you, Rita. What type of comb? This is a Resco number 80 ergonomic comb made by Resco, R-E-S-C-O. Bianca. He says it at the beginning of the video. Oh, thank you, Bianca. Yeah, Rita. I said it at the beginning of the video. coming in all late and I'm scared. I'm just kidding. Oh man, it's the wine. It's the wine talking. They're like, is the wine cranky? Okay. Girls are probably like, man, when dad's home, can't even get any homework done. He's so loud. Mickey Barton says, June, when a longtime client, old dog, passes away, how do you mourn them or memorialize them? I can't see the rest. Rita says, sorry, I did come in late right after your order. Oh no, Rita, what I meant to say is thank you so much for your time and joining us. But yeah, when client dogs pass away, we did, yeah, you can't see it. Yeah, even if you press it, yeah. Yeah, we have to go back and look at it later after the stream to see the whole comment. But Mickey, when our dogs pass away, we were making pictures of their dog, like of a recent groom where they look pretty, and we put a little poem in a picture frame and we mailed it to our clients. We have a list of clients whose dogs have passed away. My wife both of us, we're just so busy. We haven't been able to do anything. So when did Maggie pass away? It was a couple months ago, right? A month? I mean, there's been dogs who passed away a few months ago even, and we still haven't made the picture frame or anything. Oh my goodness, I feel bad now. Mickey Barton says, I just see a dot. Huh. Spamming our live feed, huh, Mickey? I see you. I was kidding. Okay. So once I am able to get this comb to go all the way through, and obviously if I wasn't doing this live stream, answering questions and talking so much, and I was just combing through him, I'd probably be done by now, combing him at least. But I think this is fun. The reason why I don't live stream so much at my client's house is because, especially if they're working from home, and they're on conference calls and things like that, talking to other, business calls and things like that. I don't want to be like talking to the camera and like answering questions, laughing, so it's distracting. And also, some of my clients, they're not really comfortable with whole social media and sharing so much and things like that. They're a little more private. So I respect that, and so I don't stream at my live grooms, at my client's house too much anymore, but I do like it. I love this interaction. Christy says hello from Oz. Mickey, sorry, I was typing to make it visible. Oh, I was trying to make it visible. Oh, okay. But hello from Oz. Where's Oz? Like the Wizard of Oz? That kind of Oz? Like, whoa. Or if Oz is the actual place and I just don't know. Maybe I just made myself look really ignorant. There you go, buddy. Maybe. No, it's OZ though. Hello from Oz. Dr. Oz? Okay. Sorry, just combing out in between his eyes. He has a little bit of eye gunk. Oh, really? Oh, nice. Hello from Australia. Oz, okay. I think so. Alrighty, so after I get him combed out, what I'm going to do is clip his tummy, his sanitary area, his like tummy and his pee-pee there, and shave this area, shave around his butthole, shave his paw pads, and I'm going to do all the close shaving, like the close clipping, and I'm going to do that before the bath because just like if someone were to shave my neck or my sideburns, things like that, anytime the clippers touch my skin, it gets itchy afterwards, and I want to take a shower. So I figure the same thing with dogs. I'm gonna do all the close clipping that's close to the skin, just in case it irritates the skin. The bath will calm the skin down. All right, the insides of his legs. Now all I have left is his front leg here, his right front leg. Alrighty. And so for those of you who didn't see the beginning of the video, you want to start from the back to the front. That way you're combing out all the dead hairs and tangles as you work up, because if I started here and I worked down, I would be working these dead hairs and tangles further into the coat, and working it and battling it all the way down and out of the dog. So that way, like for example, his front leg here, I'm gonna start from the bottom and work my way up. And that's called line brushing. And that way you brush out all of that, the tangles and all that stuff that's catching, and as you go up, it's much easier. Patricia, do you only groom dogs or have you groomed cats too? I only groom dogs. We have a cat and he grooms himself, which I'm very appreciative of. But he did get into some really sticky stuff. These mouse traps we had, he was probably chasing a mouse and got stuck. The sticky stuff on the mouse trap got all over him. So I did have to shave. I got my clippers and I shaved him. So I did, but I don't call myself a cat groomer. Christy Greg says, love your comb. What is it called, please? This is a Resco comb, and so it's RESCO. That's the name of the brand, Resco, and you can find it on Amazon as well. I might put a link to it on the description of this video later. But this is a number 80 ergonomic. It was not me again. Oh, Rita. Oh, so I gotta stay true to treat everybody fairly. Miranda Clevinger, how dare you come in late and ask a question that I've already answered way at the beginning of this video? Wasted. No, I was kidding. I'm just kidding. So no, Miranda, I'm just kidding. Don't leave yet, Miranda. I was just playing. Yeah, right. My wife is just giving me this dirty look. Stink eye. Alrighty. Alright. Looking pretty good, buddy. There you go. Good boy, Mimi. There we go. Comb out his ear. Okay. Hi, June. No, I'm late. Hello, Linda. What's up, Linda? How are you? Oh, I'm sorry. Pulled on his ear a little bit. There we go. Alrighty. Okay, there we go. Linda, you didn't really miss much. Probably just some of the most like inspiring, motivational stories I've ever told in my entire life. But you didn't miss much. It's all good. Hi, June. No, I'm late. Like I said, Linda, it's okay. You just missed probably some of the most incredible things I've ever had to share. But it's all good, whatever. Alrighty. There we go. Sorry about that, Weenie. Alrighty. Get those front legs. We are almost done. I'm sorry, buddy. The thing is, even without the bath, just by combing him out, he already looks much better, cleaner, softer. Because it was this hair that was making him look so dull and dirty and smelly, you know, all of that on his. So once we comb all of that out, now we have the live hairs, which actually are still pretty clean and nice and silky and healthy. My ship will come in. I'll be at the train station. Okay. You're all good, Linda. Thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate your attention, your time. Okay. And time really is more precious than money, seriously. Like I mentioned about Tim Ferriss in the 4-Hour Workweek, talking about the new rich, how the new rich don't trade their time for money, because the new rich realize that time is much more precious than money. You know, if somebody says, "Hey, can you loan me $100?" You know, as long as you know them well, you know, and be like, "Yeah, I'll give you $100." You know, what if they said, "Hey, can you stay with me for a week?" Now it's like, oh, I don't know if I can do that. You know, time really is more valuable than money. I'd much rather just give somebody $100 than have to spend a week with them. You know, depending on who it is, of course, you know, but. Alrighty. I mean, there are, that kind of sounded wrong. There are a lot of people who I would love to spend a week with. I'm just saying, like, if the choice was with a stranger, someone I didn't really know, either give them a $50 donation or spend a week with them, or give them a $100 donation or spend a week with them. You know, it's like, yeah, I'd rather just give them the $100, you know? Bianca, exactly. This is why homeschooling stopped working. My time is so valuable to me. I do hope to get some, but yeah, exactly. You know, our time, we don't get this time back, especially with our children, you know? So, and that's why I think when I was reading the Millionaire Next Door, and it was giving all those tips and, you know, about, you know, advice about how we can be more frugal with our money and our time, and, you know, just sacrifice and don't go out and do so many things and don't spend your money, you know, just keep investing it and things like that. It may have rubbed me the wrong way, because my parents, my whole life, my whole childhood, that was their excuse, is I have to work and make money, you know, we have to make money and be, you know, and so they worked, they never spent any time with us, you know, and, you know, every once in a while they would spend money and we would go on trips or vacations, but again, the stress of spending the money was always there, you know. For me, we didn't even have to go on big trips or spend money. I just wanted them to play with me out in the backyard, you know, I was like, let's just go outside and play, you know. And my mom would just, you know, be sewing, like, no, I can't, I gotta get this work done, you know. And it's like, for me, my kids are only gonna be kids one time, you know. I only get this shot once, and I wanna be there and spend as much time with them as I can. So for me, yeah, my wife could go out and earn extra income and bring in more money, you know, and I could work more and spend more time grooming more dogs. But I just feel like, you know, sometimes less is more, right? And spending that time with my daughters instead, taking them to the playground, you know, getting to know them, talking to them, asking them questions, you know, I think that's so much more important to me personally. And it probably has a lot to do with my childhood and, you know, how I grew up, my unique history. And so, you know, it's like, yeah, I understand when someone says like, oh, but I want my kid to be successful and get a good job and I want them to go to good schools. I understand, you know, and that sounds great. Hey, but just for me personally, you know, I have I have different motivations and different goals in my life. Christy, you're such an inspiration. Thank you. Oh no, thank you so much. I don't want that kind of responsibility. All right. But yeah, I just for me, I like to just kind of fast forward and look into the future, and I think to myself, you know, later on when my daughters are older, you know, let's say they're in their 20s, they're off in college, you know, living on their own, and I'm older, and now I'm successful, and I'm rich, you know, and I tell my daughters, hey, let's spend some time now. You know, I'm sorry I didn't spend any time with you girls while you were growing up. It's because I had to make money and secure a really good future for us. And now that we have millions of dollars because of all that time that I sacrificed with you girls, now I want to hang out, you know? And I don't know, I feel like they would be like, we don't really want to hang out with you anymore. You know, that was back then when we were kids. And you didn't develop a relationship with us, so I don't care if you're rich. Keep your money, you know? Like, I don't really want to hang out with you. That's what I feel like would happen. Because even with me, I asked my mom one time, like, you know, all that money we saved by not going out to eat, by not going on, you know, little vacations and things like that, and all the money that you made by not spending time with me, all that extra money, where is it now? Where did it all go? You know, was it really worth it? Because now we don't have those memories and you don't have that money. You know, I'm sure that if they knew about investing in stocks and all that stuff, we probably would be in a much better financial situation. But would that really matter? Would that really make it okay? You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm too demanding. Maybe I expect too much. But for me, you know, not making an extra $200 or $150, you know, to go out and groom a dog, you know, like sacrificing that extra groom to spend that extra time with my dogs, my children, my family. I feel like the return on investment is exponential, you know, and you really can't even measure it. To know that my daughters know me, you know, like, they know who their dad is. We have these conversations, you know. I ask them questions, and I know who they are. You know, I feel like that's priceless. And the more priceless things that you have, I feel like the more rich you are, right? If you have all these things that are priceless, then let's just say you had diamonds, priceless diamonds, you know, found in like the heart of Africa. You know, and they're just so exquisite and priceless. Would you pawn it off because you're having a rough time financially? No, you wouldn't. And so that's how I look at my relationship with my wife and my daughters and my dogs. You know, these are priceless diamonds, and I would never pawn them off because I'm having a tough time financially. You see what I'm saying? But again, this is just me. And it probably has a lot to do with, you know, how I grew up. All right. Oh, Melissa Jolene. You know what, guys? Let me tell you about Melissa Jolene Vieira, MJ. She's probably the one and only groomer that I can think of that actually spends time and effort talking good about other groomers and lifting other groomers up. If you read in the Groomer magazine, Melissa, the groomer stories, that's her column. She even contacted me, and this is probably when I was going through one of the most severe bouts of depression I have ever experienced in my life. Things were just very up in the air and chaotic, and we were moving back to Atlanta at this time. She contacted me, asked me questions, wrote an article about me. I mean, you know, and the thing is, she, not just me, a lot of, like, when you read the articles that she writes about other groomers, you can tell she really genuinely cares about the grooming industry and making other groomers look good and lifting other groomers up. Who else is doing that? Can you think of any groomers watching this? Can you think of any other groomer that spends that kind of time and energy so generously as Melissa does? You inspire me. If she's still watching, she's probably like, oh, I'm out of here. Melissa, if you're watching this, you're an inspiration to me, and I hope to be more like you. And I know I told you that I wanted to write a blog article about you. I still do. That's still on my to-do list, you know, along with the pictures of my clients' dogs who passed away and all this other stuff that I really need to get to, you know, but trust me, it hasn't gone, off my mind. It's still on my mind. I thought about it the other day. I was like, oh my God, I really want to write an article about Melissa, because, yeah, of course you can go through. My beautiful daughter, Ava. All right. Colette, is that? Colette Resco. Well, you do. You inspire and lift up others every day. Oh, thank you, Colette. No, I mean, thank you, Colette. I appreciate that. But, I mean, not on the level that Melissa does. I mean, she gets these articles printed in the Groomer to Groomer magazine about other groomers. I read about a lady who grooms in a wheelchair because she got, she was in an accident and it left her, unable to walk. She grooms in a wheelchair now. I read that story because Melissa wrote it in the Grooming magazine. There was another one. I remember this was years ago, like early in my grooming career. This was probably 8 years ago. But I remember reading a story about a postal worker who was tired of being a postal worker, and he switched into becoming a mobile groomer, and how he feels so fulfilled. He loves his job. I mean, there are so many stories I read that inspired me, and it was Melissa that wrote all of them. And I don't even think she's 30 years old yet. I'm 37. Shoot, she's like so young and so generous and so giving and so wise and kind. So, anyways, I can't say enough good things about her. I don't want to say nobody. I don't think there's very many people like her or doing things that she's doing. All right, buddy. It's one last leg. Oh no, I hear crying. Annabelle, are you okay? Okay. She's fine. There's just a little accident. Are you still combing that dog? Yes, it's my dog. But yeah, I just have this one leg to do, this one front leg. He doesn't really like the front leg being done, so he keeps turning. But yeah, it's just one last front leg to do. There we go. Sweating too, shoot. Got me sweating. There we go. Okay. So now that I got this comb to go through the entire dog, kind of, still working on this leg here. There we go. Alrighty, so now that I can get this comb to go through his entire coat, and you can feel it. I can still feel some pockets of dead, rough hair. But yeah, Connie, man, way to make me feel bad. But yeah, I mean, but look, it's still coming out like this. So, but I can go through with the fine tooth comb on the areas where I did comb already. And you'll see that now there's not a lot coming out, right? There's a definite, noticeable slowing down of all that dead hair coming out. See? Not a lot at all. So it's not like I'm just combing aimlessly for hours on end with no purpose, no goal in sight. The goal is to be able to get the comb to go through. Wow, it's this like pebble kind of thing came out of here. Okay. And I notice a lot of dogs, their chin here, see that? Little things pop out of their skin, and I think it's because their chin here kind of stays wet sometimes, and there's food, and sometimes it might get, in those pores, a little bit of it. And so when I comb through the chin kind of feels bumpy sometimes, and when I comb those bumps out, little black pebble kind of stuff comes out. So you will still bathe him now? Yeah, I'm gonna wash him. And Linda, because you missed the beginning of this episode, and you showed up late, and I was expecting you, and got me all feeling, no, I was kidding. All right, but in the beginning of this video, I was showing that I'm really excited to try this on Mimi, the Dead Sea Mineral Salt Bath. I got these samples from Pedigree. But first, before I use the mud bath, because I want the best results, I learned this from a friend, Jessica, when I worked with her out in Arizona. But before I use the mud bath on him, I'm gonna wash him with this shampoo first, this coconut cream, just a general cleanser. So I'm gonna clean him out first, right? Clean, make sure everything's clean, the hair fibers are open, and then it'll be a good environment for the mud to do its thing, you know? So I'm gonna get the best results on clean coat. So I'm gonna wash him with this first, then I'm gonna use the mud bath and let the mud bath sit. So that's what I'm about to do. First, I have to comb his, shave his sanitary and his foot pads. And someone pointed out that they call it the sanitary area because it's meant to be sanitary after we trim it. Because I was like, I don't get why they call it the sanitary area when it's the most unsanitary area on the dog. Anyways, so for the feet, I'm gonna use the closest setting. So see how there's an adjuster here, a lever. You can adjust that blade, see that? It goes up and down, up and down. So I'm gonna use this shortest setting. That's like a 30 or a 40 for the paw pads. But then when I do the sanitary, like the tummy and his butt area, I'm gonna do the longest setting, see that? So I'll start with his butt and tummy. So I'm gonna start with the longer setting. Let's do it this way so that people can see. So let me get off the chair. Okay. So because he likes, when I lift his tail and I put the clippers on it, he likes to sit, right? And most dogs do. So what I like to do is put my arm under and around and hold the tail up. Now he can't sit because my arm is tucked under him. And then just kind of skim. Just around the hole. There we go. See that? So now we still have hair to cover it, you know, so it's not so exposed, looking like a big open raw butthole. But you know, we have some hair now, so when he, you know, goes like this, you can't really see the butthole. It's not so exposed. Okay, so enough talking about buttholes. What we do now is, what I like to do is I like to lift one side up, one leg up, go under. Well, let me see if I can do it from this angle here so that you guys can see better. So you want to lift the tail with it. So tail, leg, you lift up that leg, right? And that way I can get a good look at what I'm clipping here. And I will go and just kind of skim. Just skim that hair off. All right, so it's nice and neat. There we go. You don't need to scalp them, you know, you don't need to get right to the skin. You just need to, so I'm gonna move the tail to this leg, see that? Hold this leg, lift it up, and then from the bottom here, just kind of skim all that hair off. All right, and then what I like to do is lift them up like this. All right, and then see, there we go. Okay. I had a joke, but I stopped myself. I am getting much better at controlling myself. Alrighty. I was about to say something about positioning, you know, with the camera. Some of you may know where I was going with that, but I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna make any inappropriate jokes. Okay, so we got this area pretty good. There we go. This side, yeah. Let me see. Make sure it's clean up here, yep. And then that's good. So you see that? So now this area is nice and neat and clean. And if you can notice, I saved the tip. See that? Maybe you can see against my uniform here. Yeah, see that? There's a tip right there. Now the reason why I like to leave a little tip of hair, they call it the dick wick. Sorry for that. I know the language, but they call it the wick there because it acts as a wick and guides the stream. So when he goes and lifts his leg to pee, if I were to cut this tip off, right, and make it just super clean, then has more of a tendency to splatter and get on his hair here. But by leaving this little tip there, right, by leaving a little, there we go, you can see it. There we go. By leaving this little tip here, it acts as a wick and keeps the stream nice and straight, and that way it keeps everything cleaner. So, a little tip about the tip, keep the tip. All right. Now, we're gonna do the feet. So I'm gonna change the setting to closer, see that? And then, and you can spray it down. And they do say it's best to oil it after every use. So you could just, I like to do like 3 or 4 drops of oil all around, and then just let the oil kind of work, right? There we go, and then wipe it down so there's not too much oil transfer onto the coat. There we go. So, and I used the Andes clipper oil. All right, let me blow my nose. All right, take another sip of wine. I meant to take a sip. It was a gulp. Okay. So, you see that? It's the pad of his foot, and I'm just gonna skim. Lightly skim. I'm not gonna press into the pad or try to get the hairs in between the pads. See that? So you can see his little paw print. Isn't that cute? Oh! But the hair in between the pads are still there, because I believe that it's there for a reason, for protection, especially when they run around, you know, in the dirt and sticks and stuff. So I like to leave it there for protection and just skim off the top, right? So you know what? I'll show you on the next paw. So you see how nice this paw looks? You can see the paw prints, paw pads. When you look at the one that hasn't been shaved yet, it's about the same, but you know, there's just a little bit of extra long hair there. That's what we're clipping off. There we go. And even though I'm skimming and not really touching the skin much, because it is so close, it could cause a little bit of irritation. So that's why I like to do this short shaving. You know, anything where you're doing close shaving, I like to do that before the bath. Man, I'm sweating. So you can see how this is why I say that the prep work is actually where all the labor and everything is. Sorry, there's a little piece of tar or something stuck in on his toe here. Let's see if I can get under it and clip it off. Hey, Weemy. There we go. I don't know, like a piece of tar or something that was stuck on his toe. That was what he was whining about. Alrighty, so OKC here, Oklahoma City. Is that Oklahoma City? Galen Turner Cowan. What's up, Galen? Okay, so now he's all combed out. don't even know. The timer thing isn't there, so I don't even know how long that took. I'm guessing a good hour or two. But look at that. Now he's nice and combed out. Now I'm gonna get the best results from the bath. All right. Okay. So see, I just went through his entire back, and this is all I got. So very good sign, because before, I don't know if you guys remember, but I was getting like big clumps and stuff. This is all I got. So definitely making progress. He's looking much better. Galen, what's up? Yeah, so it is Oklahoma City, perfect. Letitia Race says, hi from Brazil. Hey, what's up, Letitia? How are you? Marique says, hi from Australia. Have a lovely day. Thank you so much from Oz. Okay, so let me get a towel. Oh, there we go. So here's what I do when I'm at a client's house. I'll get the towel that I'm going to dry him with. I'll get the shampoo and conditioner, but in this case it's mud bath and shampoo. And we're going to head over to the sink so I can wash him. Yeah? Yeah? Turn it off? Wow, we should just keep it going. There's a bunch of people from Poland, even Brazil.
Can you, like, get back on in like 5 minutes or something?
I guess so. Yeah, I mean, if you say so. All right, so I guess we'll be back in 5 minutes. I got to clean out the sink first, and I shouldn't have said that. I was not supposed to say that. I'm not going to clean out the sink. But anyways, we'll be back in about 5 minutes. Oh, Weemy. Oh my goodness. All right, I'll let you down, buddy. Oh, whoa. There we go. All right, Weemy, look at you. Oh my goodness. He even looks whiter. Looks whiter. Corinne says LOL. All right, so, oh my goodness, look at that. They're like best friends. Christopher, leave him alone. Oh my goodness. Okay. So let me go ahead and get the sink and everything ready. Oh my goodness, look at that. And then we'll stream again when we're doing his bath. See you guys. Lisa.